I had some notes for today's video and I just pushed them aside and just wanted to talk to you, the viewer, you who decided to click on the title of this video. You found it at the right time, at the very right time. I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and I have been on this journey of not only rediscovering myself, but discovering myself. Being open to the possibilities, being open to what desires drew me or I was attracted to, just being open to life. And from what I have been taught and what I would say majority of us in the Western world, or maybe the entire world, have been taught, has been to be a certain way, to fit in a certain box. And there are so many boxes that have been created. But throughout my life, I really never felt tied to any of these boxes. I've dabbled in certain spaces and different arenas and different ways of being, but spent a very short time within those spaces, never really feeling that I was able to be fully me. And the more I unravel that, the more I continue to unravel, the more I continue to choose me and choose literally what speaks to me from within rather than what I may be reacting to from without, the more I see myself and I see the stories I've created of myself. Now, you may relate to this may speak to you, this may, not register, but more than likely it will since you clicked on this video. We are here as pieces of a larger whole. We are here as pieces of a larger whole. However you show up, however you look at yourself in the mirror, what you see is not really you. What you see is your collective thoughts of who you are, what you look like, your race, your ethnicity, your height. All of these things are a construct of the consciousness, the spirit within you. These are just thoughts flowing through. Stay with me. The more and more I choose and move towards a space that essentially is coming from a space of love, the more I realize that this world is all made up. It is all made up. It is all made up. We are living, as one could call, in a movie, Matrix, in a video game, in a simulation. Whatever it is going on in your mind, whatever it is that you're thinking, that you have collectively, consistently been thinking for an extended amount of time, is what shows up in your, I'm going to say 3D, in your world. And what we're seeing now, how I am now, how I'm showing up right now, what I'm saying right now is something that I've put into and thought of in my consciousness in the past. Now, if I look back at my journaling, I can say that I'm looking to be a YouTuber. I'm looking to speak publicly more and more. I'm looking to share my thoughts as potentially a thought leader. All these things when it comes to YouTube. And so that version of me is now this version of me doing the things that I intended on doing. Creating videos daily, posting it out there for whomever to watch, to consume. Now, the thoughts that I'm putting into my mind now, the things that I'm saying now, and all of those things attached with feeling, attached with the remnants, the power of my heart, is what I'm setting myself up for the future, what I'm setting this vessel up for the future. And from what I've been reading in A Course in Miracles, from what I've been reading in various books, from even my meditation teacher training, or even my yoga teacher training, or even the plethora of different studies I have done throughout my life, this is all going towards mind training. And if we really think about mind training, or just the mind in general, our thoughts create things. Our thoughts support us in moving and acting, and things manifesting or being realized in the physical form. And from my experience, I have been in a constant loop of disempowering thoughts. For whatever reason. In general, around the age of between 4 to 6, when we're in a certain state of mind, a certain vibration, we're soaking in all of the things that the people around us are saying, thinking, and feeling. We're like a sponge. And that is starting to create the physical, the being that our spirit is in, the types of thoughts that being has. And those thoughts start to shape that person, start to shape me and the way that I think, show up, act, and I was in this world. Life continues to unfold, and as an adult, I started to ask myself questions. And this was something that was not part of my culture, asking questions to authority, asking questions to people that told me definitives. And I don't necessarily work well with definitives to a certain extent. And so I started to ask questions not only to others, but to myself. Why do I have to do these things? This doesn't make any sense. We can be doing things a lot differently. Not to say that my ideas are the best ideas or the only ideas, but I had a different way of looking at things in different spaces. And the more I started to ask questions of others, I started to ask questions of myself. And, I think when it really hit, when I, back to back, I did ayahuasca, went through a training called Landmark, and also this was all after the pandemic. I hit a point where I was like, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who this physical person is anymore, because I spend time stripping away the character that someone else wrote. And the more I started to erase and erase and erase and erase the script, the scenes, the character I was being, I stood there as an empty avatar, not knowing what was next. Even though the script continued to write itself, or my thoughts continued to write, the more I started to erase, it seemed as if it was hard to just remove all of the stuff that was holding me back in terms of keeping me in that character. And still is today. But with my mindfulness practice, with accountability, with trust and faith, I have been training myself to choose love, to choose joy, to choose courage, to choose all of the aspects of the person that, if I were to say who my hero is and I listed their attributes, they would have these attributes. So I'm choosing all of those descriptors of that person that I'm looking to be, or that I already am. I've just forgotten. I say all this to say we are characters. We are characters. We are avatars. We are, you know, pieces to a larger puzzle. We literally can choose whomever we want to be, that is aligned with your innermost, healed, most pure being. More than likely, that person, that light of yours, think back to the age of 4, 5 years old. That is who you are, and more. So you have the blessing, opportunity, privilege to be the fullness of you, all aspects of you. Not to sit into one box or another. Literally check all the boxes. And if you notice the stories coming up in your head of like how, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I can't, I won't, not enough, not capable, not smart enough, not tall enough, not pretty enough, not talented enough, not whatever enough, or I'm not in the right location, I'm not this sucks, this is what happened, I was traumatized, all the things that happened in the past. You're staying in that character. You're staying in that character. Which brings me to think about a book by Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Now, if there are aspects of you that you do not like or, want to improve or change, I would love to improve a few aspects of my life when it comes to my business, when it comes to my personal life, when it comes to my family life. And if I'm going to be that version that has the idealizations of all of the topics that I just listed, so has the ideal family life that I envision, or has the ideal business, ideal, brick and mortar, whatever it is, ideal relationship, how would that Oge be? What habits, what would be the personality traits? How would that Oge show up in this world? If I'm doing things now that are more tied to the old version of myself, the person that did not really enjoy the relationships I had, or the way that I related to family members, or the types of business, or how my business was going, or whatever it was, if I, saw that it could be better, more aligned, more fulfilling, more loving, more peaceful, I would be really choosing I wouldn't be acting within that space. Like, that is not the self I'm looking to be anymore. I appreciate, I love, and I'm grateful for all the lessons. And it's really good to learn about the past, but not to hold on to the past. And that is also a practice of letting go, of forgiving, releasing, and accepting. But as you do that, you release so much weight, so many blockages for you then to receive the reminders of who you really are and have the thoughts aligned with the ideal version of yourself, which more than likely will be the highest version of yourself, and have the opportunity to choose differently each and every day. And it brings me back to Vipassana. Each and every day we would start again. If yesterday didn't go so well, if I didn't meditate the full 10 or 11 hours, if I didn't stay up, if I fell asleep, if I skipped a session, whatever it is, I have another day to start again, to start the scan again, to be in meditation again, another day to start again, to choose differently. For me and this character, I have another day to rewrite the script, to rewrite the movie and be the main character that falls in love, has a beautiful family, has a thriving business, travels, moves, dances, inspires, has beautiful relationships, which is happening. That version of me exists right now. And right now, in this existence, as I speak, the version of me that I'm talking about, it may not look exactly as I would like it to look, or, what I had envisioned. But if I really pay close attention and I'm grateful for where I am today, I can see that a lot of the things that I envisioned for myself, let's say 6 months ago, a year ago, 6 years ago, it's has come to manifest, show up, be realized in my life today. And so now what I've been doing, because instead of just telling you all these things, let me bring it into the practical and embodiment and being an example. What I've been doing, I have been forgiving myself consistently in the mirror every day. I have been affirming and saying affirmations throughout the day that are empowering versus disempowering, to replace whatever remnants of the old version of myself that is still there, still showing up, and creating something or a situation or experience that I no longer want to have or is no longer serving me. Not that I have aversion to it, just I would like to learn the lesson. Which brings me to situations that you may be experiencing that are causing you frustration, challenges, not bringing you peace. Ask yourself a question. What is the lesson here? What is the lesson here? I recently had one would say, a traumatic experience. And so I've been asking, what is the lesson here? What is the lesson here? What is the lesson here? Offering myself forgiveness, offering myself peace, offering myself acceptance, love. I think I said forgiveness, but also asking, what is the lesson here? And also in spaces where I just don't know what's next. Like I've come to a crossroads, or I've really been so hard on myself, not knowing what's next and using my mind to guide me. I stop, slow down, and ask, whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, show me the way. God, show me the way. Show me the way. And this was something a friend of mine suggested to me is, God, show me what the next step is and make it very clear. Make it very clear to me on what is the next step. What would you like for me to do next? Use me, because I am a character. I'm still a spirit that is part of a larger whole. What would you like me to do next? Because right now I don't know. And just even the acceptance of not knowing is something that a past version of me would have never done. I would have thought I knew it all, or I would have tried to research and ask questions, gone to Google. Now we have AI, so we can get on AI and ask all these questions to this all-knowing thing, when honestly, this is the time for us to shift away from the technology and go within, and to ask within, and to strengthen our intuition, and to strengthen ourselves, to the self-trust, the wisdom, the inner knowing, by asking ourselves the question, which is essentially asking the higher power, because we are a reflection, a piece of that. What would you have me do next? What is the next step? And make it very clear to me. Or even when we ask for a solution to a problem, I need help. What do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do in this situation? Whatever the question is, and we get the answer. Sometimes the answers are not exactly what we would want to hear. And we keep asking, like, nah, I don't think that's the answer. I'm going to try something else, because that's not it. I'm there now. Specifically asking. I don't think I've received the answer yet. Maybe I'm not listening fully. It's funny, my ear just started itching as I said that. But this message, I don't necessarily know what the title of this video is going to be. But you clicked on it. So I did figure out a title that worked, that resonated with you, the right person. I hope that you know that you are more than this physical form. I hope that you know that all of this isn't real. So if it's not real, what kind of life can you make up for yourself that you would love to live? How can you make this heaven on earth for you and not wait until you die to go to heaven? How can you show up for your future and even your younger self in the ways that you truly would like? Like, how can you rewrite the script? And what will support you in continuing to do that each and every day? Placing coins into the bucket of your future self, into that version of yourself that you're looking to be. You've already put enough coins in your past self. It's the past, so why are you still feeding it? It's over with. You can't play that game anymore. It's done. This is a message for you. This is a message for me as well. Continue to choose love. Continue to choose joy. Continue to choose peace. Continue to choose presence. And see what your life looks like 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now. That's all I have for you today. There's the buzzer. Till next time. Peace.